Hello everyone. Hello everyone. It is me, Just Be Audrey Elaine. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I think it's over here. We're gonna say it's over here. Um, I thank you for subscribing to all of the social media platforms of Just Be Audrey Elaine. Um, yeah, my brain is kind of, you know, I wouldn't say racing or anything, so I don't know why I did that, but I don't know. But thank you guys so much for subscribing to all of, subscribing, liking, sharing, all of the social media of Just Be Audrey Lane, whether it's YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, which I have a podcast right now. It's kind of like the joint thing of this on Facebook because I'm trying to get some things planned out where it's actually going to be more to the podcast side. Um, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. But I thank you because I have been getting feedback and everything. So I thank you guys for your support. Um, I always say the date, which is July 27th, 2021. And I don't know why, but I'm mentioning the time, which is 10:17. So yesterday I mentioned it because I knew I was having some sort of delay, some sort of problem with my phone when it uploads the videos and everything. Um, so I don't know why I'm saying the time, the time. I don't know. I'm not going to kind of go off of what I know I pretty much have that's been in me. Today has been a wonderful day. Today has been a day of, so what are you going to do? How are you going to act? I mean, this morning I was in, my time, my time that I have where it's just God and me. And I got a call. And in that call, I had to give out information, but then not a lot of information. I was talking with, you know, my lawyer, and so a lot of things are not as fast moving as you would think they were to be. It's just not how it goes. And uh, yeah, so and I don't even really want to kind of put this on here. So I'm because I don't. I mean, I know I started the YouTube channel for like, oh yeah, I'm going through a divorce. I wonder how you know this would be if someone would record it and show that you can make it through it. And I kind of don't want this to be that. Not kind of. I don't want this channel to be that. I do love the fact that I can come on and talk, but my divorce isn't a definition for me. It doesn't define me, put it like that. It doesn't define me. It isn't all Audrey Lane. It's so weird because when I came on initially thinking that, oh man, somebody should record this, and because it can be powerful for somebody to know that they can make it through it. Well, you can. You can. Yeah, maybe some periods of up and down and all over the place, but you can. I'm not going to knock it or beat myself down about it because there may be times, this is a journal for me, where I may discuss that, but I really don't want it to be where you focus, or even myself focus on all of that. Like, the divorce for me is like, it's I can't even say it's 10% of who I am. It I wouldn't give it that much of a value because I value myself more and know that there's more of me and to me. Sorry, it's kitten. Um, than that, you know. So I wanted to get on to kind of basically say that I got the info and everything from her and thinking things would move a certain way. And it's just not like that. But I will say this, it started the day for me of knowing to trust God, to know how are you going to react? How are you going to act? Because they're a little bit the same. A reaction is like, oh my goodness, I'm caught in this. Let me hurry up and get out. Now let me go and do something. Where for me, my action is a continuous thing of making sure I do, staying in action, staying in movement, and everything. And so there, for me right now at this point, a little bit one and the same. And I will honestly say, I wanted to like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? But then it was like, do you trust me? And honestly, I said it. I wouldn't even say it that it was God saying it to me. And if he was, I'm not taking his credit. But I would say for me, I said, do you trust me? And from then on, literally instantly, as soon as that came to my head, I'm sitting in the Uber and I'm like, okay. And went on to the next. And the fact that I don't know what's happening and don't know what's going to go on, I have to just be like, God, man, I got to trust you even more. Because with that info coming early in the morning, and it literally was only that of it's not going to be as easy as you thought. Like, it's not going to be, you know, a real fast turnaround. It's not going to be like just sign on the dotted lines and boom, it's done. I did not know that. I did not know that. And it was like, how are you going to react? How are you going to, you know, handle yourself? And I just was like, okay, I'm not, as much as I wanted to kind of, as soon as I did a little like, it was like, okay, no, you gotta trust God. It literally, it was, but do you trust me? And I was so happy and grateful in that moment, because I find for myself that God has a way of things up, setting things up for you to kind of get it. Because I was reading my book this morning, and it was saying exactly what I kind of went through a little bit. So it was saying, when you're facing your most significant challenges and can only trust the root of our faith that will anchor us. We're in battle. When we have no strength but press ourselves tightly into the Lord's arms, we're overcoming. When our shouts of praise turn into silent tears and unconditional devotion, remember I just was talking about that yesterday, devotion, we are at war. These moments make us shine. When we have nothing to offer but our yes, and okay, when we have nothing to offer but the yes that rises from our hearts, we are walking in victory. And all I could do is say basically like, okay, God, I trust you. I have to. I find it where, man, I just had to be like, God, this is truly a growth spurt, and a true thing that I value. I value the fact that you are growing me, because things would have been in my head, not like from that moment on, from just talking to her and um, the rest of the day, and it wasn't. So I'm coming on now to basically write that, you know what, we are strong, and we are mighty, and we I want to say trustworthy, because that word has come to me where it was like, because I wanted to say definitely where it came up, do you trust me? It was also where, like I said, I don't know if that was God speaking, but I took it like this for myself. Do you trust yourself? Yes, I trust God. So I'm not going to make it seem like I'm not. But when I break it down like that, God trusts you that you will, you know, give your all to yourself. And that's what I've been doing. I've been giving a lot to myself, and making sure that in that process of me giving myself is fully where I say, God, it's not really me, it's you. And I trust me now. I trust myself with me. So I gotta trust that I can handle this in the right way. So when it came up, just as easily as I wanted to kind of go and like, I don't know, like just, well, not give up, because it's like, no, I want this, I want this, so I wouldn't give up. But I don't even know what you call it, like where I wanted to probably basically like, I I wouldn't say even upset. I just did not realize it would be a longer process as it is. I didn't know. You know, you don't know that. But I wanted to things to go a certain way, or like, let's boom, be over with. But it's just not like that, man. It's not like that at all. But I am happy in all of it because I am at peace. And I thank God that He got me at a peaceful place with it. And you know, wishing, you know, my husband well, and like wanting him to succeed in what it is he wants to go and do, and you know, everything in life. Like, I don't wish him any badness. That doesn't, you know, help him, and it doesn't really help me at all. I don't want to live in that kind of mind state, like where it's like, yeah, I don't even know how to word it, but I just know that I don't want that. You know, I find it more easier for myself to truly be where it's like, okay, let him go off and be him. You know what I would say? If I hold hate and bitterness and misery, it hinders my process, and it hinders everything that I'm trying to do in God. And I can't afford for that to happen. So, and you can't afford for that to happen. So you gotta wish anyone who has done you wrong, or where things did not work out, or it's an end, you have to wish them well. Like, I didn't get it when someone said it to me a while ago. Forgiveness is not for the person, it's for you. It really is. The forgiveness is for you. You have to forgive people, and go and grow. Trust me, I don't want to hold on to that stuff, and you shouldn't want to hold on to it either. I'm telling you, next thing you know, you put something up. It's like, almost like you idolize that pain, like you just gonna keep it there, and before you know it, where you think, oh, I forgot it, it creeps back up, and you don't want that. You don't want that. So you really do have to forgive. You really do have to forgive. It hurts, but there's healing in hurt. If you are doing the right steps for it, or if you are truly doing what you need to actually do, because you have to. And a lot of the times, I find for myself, I had to learn how to forgive. I had to learn how to forgive. And a lot of it actually came from when I wanted to be forgiven. when I wanted to be forgiven. I had to literally like step back and ask God, how do I forgive? And how do I learn how to show up in being forgive? And let me break it down to you. So a while ago, years ago, I had gotten to a disagreement with someone, and I ended up damaging some things, and I had to apologize because one, I did damage the items, and items we all know can be replaced, but that also is someone else's item. That is someone else's property that we can't just sit there and be like, oh well, it's just material things. No, don't have that kind of mindset or attitude. It still belonged to them. That was something that they had and they worked for and they went out and got. So we can't look at it like it's just property. No, and also if you really want to get it, put it if it was yours. You wouldn't like it if it was done to you. So not only did I damage the property and the item, I damaged a relationship, a trust, a friendship, and that means more to me. Now, I'm not sitting here saying the items, because the items were theirs. It wasn't mine. But the fact that they were damaged, yes, I do care. But I more so care about that relationship. So I had to make amends. I had to go out and truly ask for forgiveness. And how about this? I had to not only say it in words, but forgiveness comes in action for me, because I don't want to just say I apologize. And it's how for me I had to learn how to do apologies, because not do I just want to say it to you. Now I need to hear what you may have to say to me. And I have to be okay with that. I had to learn how to keep my mouth closed on it. And you're going to have to learn it. And it may be some stuff that be said to you that you're not going to like. You're going to probably have a hard time hearing, but trust the process, because then it helps you with correction. It helps you with humility. It helps you with love. And why I say love, because if you truly care about mending this relationship, you'll be able to take whatever they're saying to you. Now, don't get me twisted. Depending on the person, they can be a little bit probably out outrageous with it. They could go a little bit left and crazy with it. And first of all, before you go into an apology, always pray. Always pray, and don't do a fast prayer and then do it. Pray well before you go and do it, and ask God to give you leadership in it and talk to you and give you insight on how to handle it. And that's where I would say for me, it helped because I didn't just do it overnight. I waited to hear back on how to do it. Give me the tools on how to do it. And in the midst of him doing it, when I went to have the apology and will give the apology, it actually was like, wow. Because they didn't go into the damages and all of that stuff. They more so went into the fact that it took me years to apologize to them. But it was like, I forgive you. And I appreciate you apologizing to me. And our relationship picked up. Not necessarily where it left off, but it picked up. And I appreciate the fact that I can truly show up now and not avoid and not want to sit there. I don't even think of, so I'm not even going to say it, of what caused it, because this argument wasn't even between the person that the items got damaged. And all I could do is like, wow, girl, well, woman, because I am a woman. Um, I thank God for growth. We have to really be willing to have correction. Correction will definitely, man, when I tell you, it will show you areas in your life that you need to do better in, and you will do better in. So take the correction, because you want big, you want largely, you want things coming abundantly. But if God can't trust you with the small, with the minimal, and with just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%, then how do you expect him to bless you largely, to trust you largely, to give you largely? So you have to apologize. Trust me, it will give you peace. It will give you peace. And how about when you go to apologize, don't have people around that you don't need an audience. You need it with the one on one. And even if it was multiple people in the group, still do it one on one, because they're all individuals and they don't need it where it's a group apology. You apologize one on one, so that this way you can be able to have a genuine sit down and talk, versus it being a group, because then everybody is going to kind of jump over the next, and then they won't be feeling like they're actually getting a full-fledged apology and voicing out what their concerns and everything was, and what was going on. Jesus, you'll be okay. Poetry Lane, you'll be okay. I know I will be okay, and I know you will be okay. You know why? Because apologies really are for you to grow. So humble yourself. You can do it. God is definitely going to bless you. He's going to show you. How about this? I know for me, it was like, okay, I need you to make amends and do all of this, because if you can actually get over yourself, because a lot of times we be like, I ain't doing that. They don't know who they know how I am. Do they know? Because they don't fully know how you are if you don't. Are you, like I said yesterday, I believe, or I might have said it Sunday, but we had one of the men preach, and he was like, how are you ugly in ugly? So basically, where you would have thought that he was calling the person ugly, no. He was saying, like, how are you ugly in the inside and behaving ugly? And that's, you don't want that. You don't want that kind of behavior. You don't want that kind of mentality at all. You want it to be where you can be trusted from God. Because if God can trust you, he'll work on man. He'll work on man for you so they can see it. But the apology is for you to go out and grow, for you to see that I need correction, for you to see that, oh, I need to be more humble, for you to see, oh, I need to be more of a loving person. It's truly for you. And I will say this, don't you then become where the person lowers your level and make you feel like you have to, beg and kiss toes. That's not. So you have to see in that apology, kind of let them voice it out. But if you just see that it's not, you know, a godly one, or a apology of where the person really is connecting, because they may not want to forgive you, and you have to be okay with that. But when they start going to degrade you and belittle you, that's where you get the apology out and sincerely mean it. Still don't change your attitude in it. And like, okay, I love you. I am here whenever you want to talk. Truly mean it. Love them enough to love yourself and walk away. And then ask God for them to change, for Him to change you and them. You and them. Don't just go on about them. You and them. One of the biggest things I learned was, God, bless them, change me. Bless them, change me. Because for me, it's like, okay, in the midst of you blessing them and you working on them, God, there becomes a change. There becomes a different outlook. It becomes where they actually do an internal look of themselves. And then the changing of you is where you're like, God, change me, and He will continue changing your mind, changing your speech, changing your walk, changing your being. And it's a process that we truly do need. Don't you deserve to be at peace? Don't you deserve to be at a standstill? Not a standstill, but a spot of just comfort, a spot of growth. Yeah. I am so at a point right now of, man, God, I truly do thank you. I thank you because even for today, the rest of the day, I've had a couple little points of where God was like, I need to see your behavior in things. I had a new customer, a couple today. I had an incident of um, I wouldn't say rudeness, but I don't know you. I guess a disagreement, and all I could do is say, God, man, I hope I did handle it right, because a lot of the times I kept my mouth closed and opened up my ears and opened up my heart. And how I knew I opened up my heart, because I just was like, listen, and listen, and don't be quick to cut them off. Open up your feelings to what they're feeling. However, make sure that you are doing it lovingly. Make sure you are doing it with true concern. And I had to do that because it was like, God, I don't want to act, you know, in a way of belittling myself or the person. So give me strength and help me to handle this in love. And man, when I tell you, it was just peaceful. It was peaceful, and I want to say trustworthy, but yes, I'm going to say trustworthy, because it was like, God, I gotta trust that you are here in this process of it, because You ever had somebody just be rude to you when you have truly done nothing wrong? And I had to ask God for patience and ask God, like, God, this is for a reason. It's okay. You take your time, get it out. And in the midst of it happening, my reaction and my action, we'll put it like this, my reaction to it actually was good because it calmed them. And I didn't have a smart eye, like quiet stare or a quiet thing. I truly was quiet because I really wanted to hear what was going on with them. Okay, no problem. All right, no, I'm telling you, it's okay. After letting them voice it all out and just looking at them, and make sure you stare eye to eye. Don't look down. You don't have to look down. You look them face to face. And for me, I know a face to face contact is truly where you are hearing me. And that was great. Man, correction comes in a lot of forms and ways. But the one thing I can tell you is the end result is awesome. And especially when you really want to adapt to that behavior of, I want to have a forgiving heart. I want to have a forgiving heart and a forgiving mind. I want to be a person who truly does forgive and not just say it. Hmm. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I came on tonight because I'm not going to be on long. As you guys can see, I'm a little bit tired. I want to get a peaceful extra like hour of sleep tonight because I usually do. If I told y'all what time I normally go to bed, you'll be like, oh my goodness, how you do it? Nobody but God gets me up. And I can tell when I'm not getting a lot of sleep because I get these bags under my eyes. And then don't let me cry too, because the crying like brings on a whole different facial thing going on in the morning that I'm like, oh Lord, was I crying in my sleep? Because I cry in my sleep. But I'm learning, so let me get to that. I am learning that, I love showing emotions now. I truly do love showing emotions. It does not make me weak. It does not make me fragile. It does not make me weird. Oh, this girl is just broken. Mm-mm. No. It makes me joyful. It makes me really feel like, I hate to say it, like I'm human. Whereas though before, I felt like I was just cruel, mean, and nasty from not crying. Because even though I didn't voice things out to people, remember I told you things start in the mind. I had a nasty mind of what I was thinking about people. Or how about this, for me now knowing, not thinking about people. Like not thinking, like having any consideration of what they were actually voicing out or saying to me. And that's why I truly do know that forgiveness is something that we have to give out. And we have to pray about it too. That God, am I truly forgiving this person? Or am I just saying it? And that's why I know for me, I have to not only forgive them with words, I have to forgive people with action. And I do the same thing when I am actually apologizing. I have to apologize with words and then also show up in action, in movement for them. To let them know I truly do mean it. Because I want that same courtesy, like I said, done back for me. So This is one last thing I'm going to read to you guys. And it says, Father, thank you for reminding me that I don't have to yell and beat the air to overcome. Remember, I was just telling you, like, the other day, I was in like a boom, boom, boom and everything. So to read this, I started laughing like, oh God, you know how to bring things back up again. And bring me to the about face. Like, okay, you see this? That's uncalled for behavior. So now I know. As much as I want to be like, oh God, I'm being real. I'm doing who Audrey Lane is. I'm showing you my emotions. It's like, okay, you can show emotions, but there's other ways you can go about doing it. You don't have to pound on things. Because I was pounding on my chair like, God, I'm having a moment. I need you to show me this. Please, God, please, God, please. And it was like, okay, you don't have to do that. Open up your mouth and talk with him. And the reason why I say that is because it's like I don't have to yell, beat the air to overcome. I am victorious when I keep my heart fixed on you. You are a brilliant example of complete surrender. This posture of love awakens a faith that is known how to rest. And here in your arms is where I don't have to worry about a thing. I receive my greatest breakthrough. So I'm like, wow, God, I don't have to beat on anything. I don't have to, like, be stomping around. Like, God, I need you to see that I'm trying here. He knows it. He's here. First of all, he knows what we're trying well before we even grasp it ourselves. Literally, he smells it right on out of us. He knows it. He knows it's coming about. And that's a lot of the reasons why I make sure I show him gratitude throughout the day. Throughout the day. And then to read how is when our shouts and praise turn to silent tears of unconditional devotion. This whole thing today for me, and I said it today, July 27, 2021. God, there is something more. There is something that you're giving me today. There is something that you need me to take heed to and hold on to. And sure enough, I was reading my other book this morning. I ended up opening this and reading this, and I was like, doop, light bulb, right there. Mm. So I thank God for a lot of when it comes to forgiveness, and that's for both sides. To be forgive and to forgive. To be forgive and to forgive. To be forgived and to forgive. Because there's growth in both. It's humility in both. There's purpose in both. And why we have to just trust God and know that it's his will and he's working it out for us. Because I would say I could fully know I can't trust myself. I have to fully trust him and trust this process that if he is telling me to go about things a certain way, I have to go about it. And to get that call in this morning, things just was popping up and popping up. I knew that it had to be him in it because my action in all of it was not to pop off, to not fall down, to not get angry, to not even get that boastful like, oh yeah, but you don't know. No, I'm telling you, I was, I was like, I don't recognize this person that is so calm, but I like her. I like her. Matter of fact, God, I love her. Strengthen her more. I want to see more of her. Yeah, it's just so funny to me. It's so wonderful to me that I'm like, God, You do know how to grow a woman up. You do know how to grow a man up. That surrender. It says it in here. Where? A surrender. You are a brilliant example of complete surrender. I am victorious when I keep my heart fixed on you. You are a brilliant example of complete surrender. This posture of love awakens a faith that is known. Okay, this posture of love awakens a faith that is known how to rest. Man, I thank him. Hmm. I thank him a lot. This woman right here has just grown to the point that I'm like, Lord Jesus, teach me how to handle some more business. I got to handle more business. So he has put things in alignment for me today. Because just like the situation kind of happened, I didn't let it get to me. I moved right on into, God, okay, this is not where I have to let this emotion and this feeling come up. So God, I'm going to pray and ask you to dial down things that is not even really there. I don't need to put an emotion and a feeling into me. Okay, this person may be saying this. I don't need to put a feeling and emotion into me. God, you take control. You do it. And then out of nowhere, a customer came in, and she's a businesswoman and does nonprofits. So it's like, okay, God, this has to be, wow, this thing showed up. I handled it how you needed me to handle it for you and for me to grow. And then boom, you put this person right here in front of my face that starts and do nonprofit and like, here, call me, girl. Call me. Let's talk. So I think, thank you, God. Because I didn't say that. I just laughed and chuckled and got her information. And sometimes that laugh for me is a thank you, God, but I didn't voice it out. So I'm going to voice it out right now. 10:58. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Because he is in the business of bringing business and bringing knowledge and bringing wisdom and bringing correction and bringing health. And why I mention health, because that whole health is a mental thing of you lashing out. That plays with your health. That plays with your physical health and your mental health. It's not worth it. Man, when I say love and love and love and love and love, when I say it, I not only close my journal as I love you and love yourself, I have really had to adapt to loving people, the seen and the unseen, enemies and not my enemies, and especially for me, genuinely, genuinely, truly meaning it. I don't want to live in hatred and hurt and craziness. Man, I didn't did that for too long. Tried to correct it in my way, in my form, and how I was going to do it. Nope. Nope. I thank God so much for correction. Because he does it so much in love and so much where it's like, okay, I want you to grasp it like this. Okay. So God, I appreciate it. I thank you for it. I think I mentioned earlier what my journal topic will be tonight. And I will probably have to play it back to get it because I have so many things in me that I will kind of want to voice it out as the topic for tonight. What I will write it out. I had sent the same message to my first lady by accident. Uh, a little is much when God is in it. And it is the little things right now that is so much when God is in it. So I think that's definitely what I'm gonna call it. We are we are little and mighty. We are little and much. We are little but powerful. Man. I tell you guys, it is something wonderful. And all I can think about is if I'm at a peace like this now, if I'm at a place of I can be trusted by you guys and I trust you, I can only, no, I can't even imagine what it would be like when you fully keep on putting you in me and growing me more and more. Because it won't never be an end. I don't want it to be an end where it's like, okay, I'm all grown up. No, I want to continue growing in you. I want to continue being corrected. I want to continue, and when I say corrected, not that I'm going to go out there to do stuff so I can be corrected, but it's going to be where you think you got something and you're like, okay, God, I got it, I'm doing good, and He's going to flip it and say, hey, okay, now I want you to do it like this. I need you to trust me that where you think you got something, I need it to be done like this. And I trust you enough that I know you can do it. Hmm. When I tell you we serve an awesome God, I love Him. I truly do. I was able to handle business today. Today I was able to handle business on top of business while still being at work. And it just, it's like, God, put more business mind people around me. Put me, your circle of people should always be, and I've had this as a younger child and then got out of it. And now I'm like, God, put me back in. It's like I'm jumping rope. Put me back in the rope. I'm jumping it. And your people that is around you should always be smarter than you. And you know why that is for me? Because I can learn from them. I don't never want to be the biggest, sharpest person in my group. We all should be sharpeners. We all should be sharpeners. So you want to hang around people that are sharpeners because they can teach you how to sharpen back. And how about this? Don't never think that, oh, this person does more than me and this person has more than me and they do things different. There's a reason why you have people in your group that are sharpeners and in different levels and have different things, because you all come together as one in learning. You all come together in growing. You all come together in love. And there's points that each of you all have different, but you serve one point and one thing, and that is God. And that's amazing. That's wonderful. So for me, I'm going to have people around me that, yes, is smarter than me, that has, different levels of education than me, different levels of finances, because I cannot ask God to grow me spiritually and grow me financially and grow me in love, and yet I'm hanging around people that don't want any of that inside of them, that don't know what it is, don't want to even seek it out. I don't want that. You shouldn't want that, because you may be in that group, and this is why I'm saying, and you may feel little, and you may feel like you don't have a lot, but you're much, you're more. So you are that David with a lot of Goliaths around you, but you are small and mighty, and God is moving you up and moving you up and moving you up. And I don't even know if I can sit there and say it like that, because you don't want to defeat the people that you are around. You want to actually go out there and prosper with the people that you are around. So what I would kind of say, the Goliath in it will be the fear that you are beaten down, the inadequacy that you are beaten down. Because more than likely, it's not the people that you have around you that have different things around you that is actually belittling you. It won't be them. It will be your mind trying to tackle you. And don't let that happen. So surround yourself with people who can actually help you along your journey and help elevate you up. And that y'all both be, like I said, climbing up that waterfall for me. You all would be doing hands in hands and bringing the next person up. Because just like I said, where one was in the front and bringing all of us up, somehow went to the back and then we were helping them up. And we all were sharpening each other along the way, along the way, along the way. All different types of women with different kind of levels of education, life, family, children, no children, all of that. Husbands, no husbands, all of that. But you should want to work along people that are productive. And men out there for you too. And how about this? I'm learning that it's not always the same sex people who will help you. So it won't just all be women out here that help me and I'm helping them. I have learned a lot from males. Males have learned a lot, I would say, from myself and women. This is a good one right here. Because I tell you, that word, for me, when I heard it myself, I just was like, Jesus Christ, you sure that he knows how to show up? And for me to be like, man, I trust you, God. I trust you. I trust you now with all my being. It didn't even come where like, oh, no. God, I have to trust you because you know better than I do. You know the ending. You know everything that is going on. And I thank him for trusting me enough to have the reaction that I did in saying, but will you trust him? Will you trust me? Will you trust me? And I don't know if that was him, but literally I say to myself, will you trust me? And a lot of it is, will you trust yourself too? Because God has grew me up. I'm like, man, this woman right here, it's like we are our royalty in him. It is so lovely to know that he has us in his hand at all times. He's a multitasking God. He's everywhere. He's everything. He's on us, in us, through us, around us. And that is something to me that, man, God, I thank you that you are a forgiving God, that I never seen this before, and you don't hold me accountable and against it of me not seeing it, because he knew when I would grab him. He knew where I would literally put him first. He knew where this girl is going to get me. He knew the timing. And I thank him for not giving up on me. You thank him for not giving up on you. Where people may have given up on you, God is like, nope, I can't give up on my own. I can't give up on you because you're me. It would be him giving up on himself. And he doesn't do that. That's not him. He knows us. More importantly, he knows himself. He knows he is God. He's the only one that can sit up on his throne. And I love the fact that I know that now myself. I don't want to put anyone up there. Because can't nobody do it like him. And I love and know that now. I love and know that now. I love and know that now. And that just, who Jesus. It blows my mind. You cannot tell me I won't even tell myself that I am not growing in him. He is not growing in me. He is. He's growing in us. Hmm. I love you guys. I love you. Make sure you love yourself. If you like these videos and you love hearing that you are worth more, that you're a kingdom child, make sure you start your YouTube journey. Make sure you be the Just Be God-given name that He gave you. There's more to you. There's more in you. I really do want it to be where we get our journal process go on. That's why I said the journey to journal. I want to see how many of you Just Bees out there are going to find yourself and be like, oh my God, I had it in me all this time. God, I was worth more but didn't see it. Thank you for taking blinders down. Thank you for me now seeing you first. And thank you for you showing me how you see me. Because He sees everything in us. All the wonder, all the joy, all the brilliance, all the things that He know we have up in it. He's seeing it and seeing it all along for us. And He's showing it to us. So the little things are much. They are much. And they're much more than we even know. Much more than we even know. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Make sure you love yourself. Love on others. I love you. I love myself. And more importantly, we got to love Him. We got to love Him. Jesus, I love you. You guys have a great one. I will be back on tomorrow to just journey out the journal with you. This is a journey for me, a peaceful one, a loving one. Man. I'm going to keep on growing in God. So I'm going to say it because I didn't say it yesterday, but go with God, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you so much for subscribing to Audrey Elaine, to Just Be Audrey Elaine on YouTube, and follow me on all the social media platforms. I thank you so much for it. I truly do appreciate you. Let's go forth and be our Just Be God-given wonderful names. It's so much more in us. And the name is wonderful. Your name is wonderful. Man, say it to yourself all the time. I am Audrey Elaine. I'm a virtuous, mighty, wisdom woman. You guys have a great one. Bye now.